Good morning. Good morning, good morning. It's week 2 of the Fringe, and we're all here at 10:30 on a Friday morning. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Welcome to the Scotsman Fringe Firsts for week 2 of Fringe 2026. It's wonderful to see you all here. I'm Joyce McMillan. I'm the theatre critic of the Scotsman, and as ever, it's my privilege and my joy to introduce the Fringe First Awards during the festival, one ceremony each week, including our big final ceremony next week. But this is week 2, and we have 5 fabulous winners for you today. As ever, we've got people to thank for their help and their invaluable support in making the Fringe Firsts happen. We've got to thank our hosts here at the Pleasance, Anthony and all the team who host all of our Fringe First Awards ceremonies and are always absolutely great to us. So please, a round of applause for the Pleasance and their team. And secondly, we have to thank our terrific sponsors, Queen Margaret University, who teach theatre here in Edinburgh, or on the edge of Edinburgh now, out towards Musselburgh, and who are fantastic sponsors of the Fringe Firsts. As I was saying last week, they also offer fringe accommodation to artists at what are, for Edinburgh, very reasonable prices in their student accommodation out there, just 6 minutes from Waverley by train. So please take account of Queen Margaret when you're planning your accommodation for next year, and give them a round of applause for being terrific sponsors to us. Lovely university out there, and very hands-on in their teaching of drama and theatre and other practical subjects like nursing and so on. Anyway, as you know, I mean subjects that involve getting up and doing something, you know. Okay, now, as you know, every week we have a fabulous guest star to help me hand out the prizes at the Fringe Firsts. And today we have a woman who is the absolute pioneer of semi-autobiographical solo drama on this Fringe and throughout British theatre. She's been much appreciated and loved at the Fringe over the years for shows like Fake It Till You Make It, and her first big hit here, which was called Credible, Likeable Superstar Role Model in 2013. She is Brine Kimmings. And Brine is here this year at the Traverse with her current show, Bog Witch. Brine, tell us all about Bog Witch. What's it about?
Oh, it's about moving to the countryside and having a mental breakdown, as usual. As usual. They always involve a bit of a mental breakdown. It's about nature and falling in love with nature. And the healing power of nature.
Very topical.
Very topical, yeah.
There are more than one show about that, even at the Traverse. Yeah, it sounds fantastic. I haven't had a chance to see it yet because it wasn't up for this award, and I have to focus on this award, but I will see it in the final week. So everyone, cut along.
You don't have to.
I do. Cut along to Bog Witch at the Traverse and see Brine doing what she does so brilliantly, which is drawing on the material of her own life to make really well-shaped and theatrical solo shows. Brine, talk to me a little bit about the Edinburgh Fringe. What's it mean to you? When did you first come here?
I first came here 2010.
Yeah.
So that's 16 years ago. Did Sex Idiot in a basement.
Oh yes, Sex Idiot. That won awards.
That won awards, yeah. Which was my first debut, and it was in a basement, which I think was a cupboard.
Where
was the rest of the time? Zoo Roxy, it was called at the time. Oh, it's your phone. Do you want to get it?
It should be my phone because I just switched its bell off.
Oh no, you did. I saw you do it. Don't worry. Probably mine. So what does it mean to me? Well, it's been everything. You know, it's been the launch of my career. It's been sustaining my career. It still is the thing that I would say made my career happen. It's only because I come up here and I do a show and it goes well and then it gets booked. It's sort of how it works. And I think I've always been very happy and successful doing them. There was one that was a bit of a shit one, but let's not talk about that one. 2011. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, but feel better.
Exactly. And it's such a good platform for someone that was... I just came up, I was self-producing. I was absolutely writing in my little hovel. Yeah. And now I'm, a massive superstar. So, A
massive superstar. Well, it's great that you're with us today. Thank you. Well, it's particularly appropriate that we've got Brine as our guest star today, because we're going to start our award ceremony with 3 brilliant solo shows on this year's Fringe, all of which do things which I think Bryony would recognise from her own work, to work with solo performance, to draw on real-life experience, and to create something that is truly wonderful, theatrical. And no show, if you look at the front covers of all your Scotsman Fringe mags, which are all around the room, no show on this year's Fringe does that more effectively and more powerfully than The Distance, which is playing at Summer Hall and is written and performed by Ben Norris. Now, The Distance is a show which draws on Ben's own teenage experience as an international cross-country runner, to tell the story of a man, or young man, who, a boy really to begin with, who discovers a huge talent for running, and who runs and who finds an identity and a kind of home and a sort of psychological base for himself through his success as a runner. But then, of course, as often happens to athletes, has to face the moment when his body just won't take it anymore, and he has to restart the job of rebuilding himself without that thing which has become the sort of core of his personality. Now, this show is really powerful in 3 ways. It's beautifully written by Ben himself. It's a terrific piece of teamwork. It looks fabulous on a very simple scaffolding set, which you can see in that picture, which enables Ben to use his body in amazing ways, not just running, but all around the set. And finally, it has a fantastic performance by Ben, who must run, I don't know, he'll tell you how much distance he runs on his cross-trainer thing during the performance. But he runs, he climbs, he acts, he enters into his own childhood character, or the different character that he's created, who's called Chris. And he does all of that while performing feats of physical exertion that most of us are breathless even just looking at. And he does it with great vocal control too, and you can tell that this man has had a regular role in The Archers as young Ben Archer, because his vocal work is fantastic. So please, Ben Norris and all of the team from The Distance, come up and accept your Fringe Festival. Look at the knees.
So fit. Want me to give this to him?
Yeah, it is there.
Yeah, go round up the stairs. There you go, love.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks,
Cheers.
mate. Sounds fab.
Blimey. I don't know how far I run in the show because the treadmill is very geriatric. We bought it on Gumtree about 10 years ago. Oh no, the current one actually we bought on Gumtree about 4 minutes ago because the original one retired itself during tech. But it doesn't remember how far it's run each time you switch it off. Who cares? Thank you so much. This is such an honour. Thanks for your beautiful words just then. Thank you, Bryony. Thanks to everyone who's reviewed the show and everyone who's come to see it. I'm really touched that people have taken this show into their hearts, because we knew when we were starting to make it that we wanted it to be physically, I should turn this around, shouldn't I? Physically a thing, physically a kind of onslaught, but we want people to care about the story, obviously, because none of that matters if people aren't invested in the humans. And I'm really happy that seems to have happened, at least for some people, and so I'm very touched. I want to say thank you to loads of people, but chiefly to these 2 humans on stage with me who have the unenviable task of building and unbuilding that fucking piece of scaffolding, which has rightly become infamous around the city every day in not long enough, and making sure that it doesn't collapse while I'm on it, for which I'm very grateful, and the patience and kindness that you've showed each other and everyone on the team. And yeah, it's just been such an honour to be in the thick of it with you guys, so thank you so much. To Julia, the director, who's believed in this idea for so long, and has made the script as well as the show on stage so much better, asking all of the right questions, which are so annoying at the time as a writer when you think, this is finally it, and she's like, no, it's not. And she's from Basingstoke. So I just, there's so many people to thank, and also partly because he's here, but mostly because it's true, I want to thank my dad, who drove me to so many cross-country races in so many far-flung places, and gave up so many weekends standing in the shit cold watching me slog through puddles, and I'm so grateful. I love you, mate. Thank you. Thanks to everyone who's seen this show, and thanks for this amazing honour. It's such a dream come true. Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you, George. Thanks, Joanna. Cheers. Thanks.
Oh, wonderful. I know, his legs are fantastic, aren't they? Yeah.
I'm not sure we're allowed to do that.
But sorry, mic on. But actually, thereby hangs a tale. Nobody's legs are entirely uncomplicated. Anyway.
Stand up.
Now, the next show, I earnestly trust, is not entirely autobiographical, but in a way, it draws on the kind of experience that we're all now having in the new age of AI, which is, how the hell do you use this thing? How do you stop it from taking over your life? Can you believe a word that it says? And if you're tempted to use it generatively, creatively, to create something, what the hell is it going to create? And how will that affect your life? So it's a show very much of this moment, and it's called Parasocial Activity, which the internet finds hard because there's a thing on in the West End called Paranormal Activity, which it keeps defaulting to, but Parasocial Activity. And it's playing at the Gilded Balloon Paterhouse, beautifully written and performed by Brine and Martha, and written and directed by Megan Brewer. Now, we're kind of dotting around the islands today. That show, the show about Chris, is very much from Nottingham, as is Ben. This is a show based sort of in Scotland. Its leading character, the character who speaks to us, is a young would-be actress from Scotland who's been living in London, but on a visit back to Scotland, she goes into the Costa coffee in Suckyhole Street, Glasgow, and meets James McAvoy, who is her great hero. Now, James is nice to her and helps her to get a ticket for his show, which is playing in Glasgow that evening, a theatre show. And she's absolutely thrilled, of course. She can't believe she's spoken to her great hero. Her mum's with her. Her mum goes to the show with her. It's all fantastic. But then gradually, something goes wrong. She texts James. She gets his contact through Instagram and starts texting him and talking to him in order to say thank you for this kindness that he's done her, and for how nice he was to her when they met. But then at some moment, it just clicks into something different. She's going through a bad time in various ways. Her career's not going well. She's not really very happy in London. Her best friend that she used to work with and have good times with has moved on, got a new job, gone to a different life. And in that lost moment, something happens. And she begins to believe that she's having this really intense online romance with James McAvoy. And of course, it's no problem nowadays to make James McAvoy's voice say anything to you that you want to hear. And so this begins to happen. And in this show, I have to say, it's just amazingly, intensely performed by Bryony. She plays not only herself, the character who's undergoing this experience, but also her own mother, various other characters that jostle against her during this awful experience. And by the end, it becomes a serious, full-blown mental health breakdown with what's essentially a new illness, which is kind of AI psychosis, which doctors and people who treat mental health patients are only just beginning to talk about. But it's an extraordinarily intense performance. It's funny. It's absolutely of this moment. It uses the voice of the disembodied James McAvoy absolutely beautifully, and in ways that are so kind of disturbingly persuasive. And it's intensely theatrical, despite being a one-person show. There are all of these different characters and this fantastic performance and great writing at the centre of it all. So please, the team from Parasocial Activity at the Gilded Balloon Party, come up and accept your Fringe First Award.
Thank you, Brine.
Brine and Brine.
Yes, I know. I just said to Brine earlier, it feels like the Spider-Man meme. We were like... oh gosh, I am really overwhelmed, so I'm going to be a lot less articulate than Ben. But just thank you so much, Joyce. Thank you to the whole Scotsman team for this honour. Thank you, Brine, for handing me this. I should clarify, if you have seen the show and if you're coming to potentially see the show, yes, it is not entirely autobiographical. I did meet James McAvoy in the Costa, but I did not do what I've written in the show. Put that out there yet, exactly. Gosh, I'm really overwhelmed. This is my debut solo show, so it means the absolute world to be here, and I wouldn't be here without these wonderful, wonderful team. Just the most amazing people ever. And thank you so much to Gilded Balloon for taking a chance on me and supporting me through this. To my wonderful director, Megan Brewer, who's not here today. To my wonderful sound designer, Rosie Bailey. Just thank you. Thank you so much to everyone. This is gosh, it's a play. Yes, it's a play about a woman that meets James McAvoy in a Costa while eating an egg mayo sandwich. But it's also a play about loneliness and connection in the ever-increasing digital age. And just really, really, I'm so grateful that it's touched so many people and resonated with people. So couldn't have dreamed for this. So thank you so much for letting us be here. Thank you.
I'm going in for a little kiss.
Thank you, Joyce.
Oh, thank you. Oh, fantastic stuff. Right, and on we go. A third solo show. And this one, again, does a lot of the things that we kind of hope to see solo shows doing on the Fringe. It deals with a neglected subject in our society, like Toast last week, which we talked about, which dealt so brilliantly with the ups and downs of the benefits system. The leading character in Amnesia, which is playing here at Pleasance Bunker 2 down there, and the leading character in Amnesia is a woman in her 30s who works in a care home, one of the most neglected, most essential, most underwritten about groups of workers probably in the UK today. And what's more, she lives in the kind of town where a job in a care home may be, one of the main jobs that you're able to get. A left behind town, the North Wales coastal resort of Rhyl, which of course lots of people love and have great memories of, but which has also had its hard economic times in recent years. So here we are in a care home in Rhyl with our central character, and she has one friend who really kind of makes her life worth living, her gay flatmate and friend Amrit, who works in the same care home as her and who, like her, really cares for the patients. She likes to hear their stories. She likes to know what their lives were before they came into the home. She knows a lot of them because it's a small town, and therefore she knows a bit of their backstory without them even having to remember anything or tell her about it. So she's able to be a wonderful carer for these people. But when this kind of basic relationship in her life ends, Amrit decides he just can't take the small town life anymore. She goes through a kind of major crisis, which is really the journey of the show. Now, all of this is important It's full of heart, it's full of soul, it's a story that needs to be told about a whole sector of our economy and of our national life that people prefer not to look at, but which is so, so important. It's written and performed by Kimberly Hart-Simpson, one-time Coronation Street actress, but now fabulously performing and writing this solo show. It's directed by Kate Wasserberg of Theatre Clud. It's on at the Pleasance, as I said, and I would love it if the whole team, beautiful team from Amnesia, would come up and accept their award.
Thank you. Hi, nice to meet you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, first of all, for the kind words about the show. You've said it better than I could ever say it. I've been trying to pitch it for ages, and I just don't know how to do it. So I'm from Rhyl. Proudly from Rhyl. I left home quite young to pursue a life in acting. Lol. So this is my love letter to my town and what raised me, and I'm so proud of it. My mum sat in the audience today, and I think that Rhyl gets overlooked a lot. Go on, Jill. Go on, Jill. You love the limelight, you. You love the limelight. She's got my face also printed on a T-shirt. So subtle. My town gets forgotten a lot or ridiculed. Costa del Dol at Blackpool after a neutron bomb. That is what the press write about us. That makes it sound like people from there, our lives are not worth living, or we're going to be forgotten and it doesn't really matter anyway. I resent that because my mum grew up there and I think she's brilliant. I resent that because the people... I used to be a carer, by the way, in a dementia care home in North Wales near Rhyl. So it's loosely based on that. I just need to make sure as well that it's not a true story. The rest of the stuff that happens, that is not me. But yeah, so basically it's just about sticking up for people. And when you get dementia, you regress to your early years. And the early years were the best days in Rhyl, the highlight days. So she's living this time through them. She's so proud of it, Kelly, the carer. She's absolutely brilliant at her job. She is born to be a carer. And I don't think many people get to say that out loud because some people are born for that job. She is born for that job. I would like to then thank the rest of the team. Queenie Millers, the producer. We've also got Kate Wasserberg, that's on stage for Theatre Clud. I am part of the National Partnership Group. Julia's over there, she hasn't come up. I won't forget that. That's with Sherman Theatre. They are the ones that selected this show along with the Pleasance as the National Partnership Group. So thank you so much for believing in this and going to the dark side of North Wales when you're in the south. Thank you. Yeah. They normally don't get on, do they? No. You were saying about that with Scotland before, weren't you? Yeah. But today, we're all getting on just well. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life, and I think that there's... to tell the story out loud, I've been developing it for TV for years, and Christ knows whether I'll ever make it on TV, you never know. But I was like, what happens if I tell this story for a long time and develop it, and it never gets told? So this one is for Rhyl. This one's for the people in dementia care homes and anyone that's affected by it. This one is for the team for believing in me. Thank you so much. And also to Edinburgh Fringe, thank you for giving everyone the best possible platform to perform and have some good chats in that courtyard. Belting. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and as Kimberly said, that's part of the Pleasance's terrific Edinburgh National Partnership scheme, which picks theatres from all the bits of the UK to cooperate with on sponsoring new work here on the Fringe. So let's have a round of applause for that. Great idea from the Pleasance. So we've been to Nottingham, we've been to the Suckyhole Street Costa, we've been to Rhyl, but now I think we are coming back to the big smoke, to London, to the south bank of the Thames, maybe 420 odd years ago, to Ham and Hamlet. There were plenty of Ham there in those days as well, plenty of actors actoring about the place. One of them will Shakespeare himself. And the strangest and most effective parody of Hamlet that I have ever seen. A brilliant idea, absolutely brilliant idea, by Hotter Project, which is Mary Higgins and Elle Potter. Now, what they're doing in this play is doing a show about meat eating and climate change, but they're actually using the plot of Hamlet and some of the poetry of Hamlet even, to make this idea come to life in the theatre and really work. Now, if you think about Hamlet, which is a play that all of us think we know, it is indeed a play about a very disaffected young person who thinks that the older generation is corrupt, has had it, and has completely let him down. His father's dead, his mother has gone and married his murdering uncle, he's disgusted, he's full of, phrases, actual physical phrases about how disgusting, weary, flat, stale, unprofitable, all of that the world is. So he is the very image of a younger generation let down by the older generation. And using that emotional structure of Hamlet, these two brilliant theatre artists make a show about the moment we are living in, when we have an older generation who has bitterly let down the younger generation and left them with a world to live in that we don't even know whether it's going to be habitable. Now, the central preoccupation of the politics of this play is the question that if we all stopped eating meat, then, of course, carbon emissions from the planet would go down drastically. It's one of the simplest things an individual can do to greatly reduce their carbon footprint is to stop eating meat. But do most of us do it? No, we don't, because we like our bacon rolls, we like our full English breakfast, and one of the dynamics of the show is that one of the characters is a full vegetarian, maybe even a vegan, and the other really loves her sausages. And so
Sausage queen.
She's the sausage queen, exactly. Oh dear. Now, this is all happening in Summerhall. It's a terrifically theatrical piece of work. It has some very disturbing images of what we do to animals, particularly pigs, of which they're very fond, in order to get the meat that we eat. But it makes its point in a superbly theatrical way, linking back to one of the great pieces of English dramatic literature, using that poetry, using that emotional energy from Shakespeare's play, and creating a piece of theatre that makes its point superbly and has an absolutely exemplary final scene with a final line that just haunts your mind after you've left the theatre. So congratulations, everyone involved with Ham, and please come up. Accept your Fringe First Award.
Thank you. See you again. Thank you. Hold up. Thanks, Joyce.
We haven't prepared
Unbelievably,
anything.
we didn't think about the fact that we'd have to say anything because we've never won anything before.
But
So
I do want to say, Joyce, that's like I'm a bit moved just because of how well you described the show that we made. So now I don't know what to say. Let's thank people.
yeah.
These are our amazing
three
production team.
Incredible people. We're so grateful for your support. You really brought this to life with us. We'd never be in this position without you guys. Hanging our prosciutto drapes every day. It's a beautiful thing to see
And to
happen.
Soho Theatre for supporting it from the beginning, which we've
Yeah.
also never had.
Yeah.
Which makes it possible to make, this has taken us many years, this show, and we've never had time. It's hard to get that time if you don't have the money.
Yeah.
So Soho Theatre's given us that time.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I feel like we should say something about the climate.
I know.
But I really don't want to ruin the vibe. Theatre Green Book. Yeah.
We're using Theatre Green Book. Do you know what that is?
Basically, almost everything in our set, our props, everything is recycled, including the text. Thank you very much. Our amazing designer, Ruta Urbay, has found incredible stuff, and sometimes that feels like a constraint if you have to find everything secondhand, but it's actually the most amazing sort of structure for real creativity if you have to work around all these sort of like guidelines, and it means that we've ended up with a show that we could never have visualized the way that it's turned out. And we're very grateful for Theatre Greenbook for their guidance. And it's an amazing sort of thing to make work by, even if you're not making climate theatre. So I think, yeah, using this to say that it's an empowering thing to be aware of, I think.
That's it. I'm very grateful to you for doing all the talking. Thank you.
I'm grateful to you for everything.
Okay, and unbelievably, we have come to our last show, which sort of blasted into my life from left field, as it were, rather late in the week, but bringing huge joy and huge thought-provoking energy and thought and physical presence. This show is Salty Brine's How Strange It Is, playing in the big dissection room at Summer Hall. And its subtitle is the National, Neutral Milk Hotel Show. And it is based on the 99, like a lot of Salty's work, it's based on the performance of a treasured album, a treasured collection of songs by some band from the past. And this is based on the legendary 1998 album, Neutral Milk Hotel, by the band Neutral Milk Hotel, which is called Aeroplane Over the Sea. Is that right, Salty? In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. That's right, yes, I've written it here. In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. 1998. Obviously, that band, the presiding sort of genius of it is Jeff Mangum, who's described on Wikipedia as the J.D. Salinger of independent rock. I don't know if that's really true, but he is a bit of a recluse and a bit of a philosopher. And in this wonderful album, he uses material from Anne Frank's diary, that great diary of a girl imprisoned in an Amsterdam attic during the Nazi period in the Netherlands, and obviously with her sad fate and the fate of her whole family except her father hovering in the background. But in that album, Mangum uses imagery from Anne Frank's diary to inspire the wonderful, haunting, beautiful songs that make that up. And in his performance, Salty sings those songs, talks about Anne Frank and what her story means to him, talks about his own life. And what is striking about the show is that it's not only aware of the tragedy and sorrow that lies behind that story, and also of the pain that always enters everyone's life, although fortunately rarely on the scale that it affected that community in Amsterdam, but also the joy of falling in love, as indeed Anne Frank did during those 2 years in the attic with her boyfriend Peter, whose family were also sharing that space, and the sheer intensity of life that people can have, even though their lives are very short. Salty's performance is absolutely astonishing, but it has to be said that it is backed by the most tremendous band. I think you'd agree, Salty. They are immense. 4-piece band who play this wonderful album, obviously much loved by some members of the audience who can sing along with all the songs, and never heard of at all by other members of the audience who are absolutely enthralled by what Salty does with it. So please, the whole team from Salty Brine, How Strange It Is, come up and circle.
There you go. Goodness. Thank you tons. Mwah. Hello, thank you. So this is such an honor to be part of Joyce's Fringe show. And I just can't believe that it's happening. You're a treasure. And no, truly, thank you to the Scotsman. Thank you so much. I can't believe I'm standing here. It's amazing. I want to thank so many people. I want to thank the entire team at Soho Theatre. especially Maddie Wilson, who has been my champion from the very beginning, trying to get me from New York over here. I want to thank my whole Living Record Collection team, my producers, Renee Blinkwold, Lucy Jackson, and Christy Badal, who's here with me, also stage managing and doing 100 other jobs at the same time. She's amazing. My director, Max Rubin, who cannot be here. My costume designer, Kate Fry, who cannot be here. My lighting designer, Christopher Bowser, who cannot be here. All phenomenal New York City-based artists. My dear, dear friend and music director of the show, Nate Wida, who is leading an incredible band. When I travel with my work, I have the privilege of hiring local musicians everywhere that I go, and it is, strictly speaking, only budgetary. But the joy of it is that I get to build community with people everywhere I go. I have a built-in family, and that happens everywhere. It has certainly happened here. We have a remarkable band, including Andrew Murphy, Joe Standley, and our trumpeter, Gavin Lee, who is here with us today. You must come and hear him wail on the trumpet. It's phenomenal. And of course, I have to thank Anne Frank. This show is incredibly hard to pitch. Come see my Anne Frank show. It's really fun. But it is really fun. Weirdly, it's so joyful. And to spend time with her diary, I've spent a lot of time with her diary. And the thing that sticks out is the joy and the love. And it's a joy to perform this show every night for all of the people that come. And we really... we touch on the sadness and the tough stuff. You have to. But that's not the point of our show. The point is, oh my God, we're alive, and how strange it is that we are even here. It makes no sense, and yet it is happening right now. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And unbelievably, that's it. How was that for you, Brine?
That was wonderful. I'm now have to go and see all those shows.
You are absolutely going to have to go and see all those shows.
Yeah, they all sounded
do you get
magnificent.
much chance to see shows?
I do now. My son went home, so now I can literally... I did see lots of kids' shows. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. No, we'd love to award more kids' shows, but my God, there's so much. I mean, look at the wonderful stuff we've awarded today. Which of those would you have dropped? Impossible. Okay, thank you very much, Brian. Wonderful. And all the best for the rest of the run of Bogwatch. And that's it for today. Next week, we'll be in the Pleasance Grand at 10 a.m. sharp with our final Fringe First Awards ceremony for 2026, and also an awards ceremony that embraces many other awards on this year's Fringe, really important awards that take people to different festivals across the world, and our Mental Health Award, which we're all very, very committed to, which awards plays that deal with those specific issues. So we have a fantastic big awards ceremony next week for those who can make it for 10 a.m. next Friday. But in the meantime, thank you so much for being here. Thank you again to the Pleasance. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you, above all, to our wonderful winners today for the wonderful shows that you've produced, and for the not just the joy, but the sense of togetherness and the thought and the love that you're provoking in the audiences that are seeing them. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone who's here, all of the Scotsman team. Join us again next week for the final Fringe Firsts of 2026.